Hi ghouls, welcome back to Freaky Flick Friday. Here's a list of the horror movies releasing for the second week of February, where you can watch them, so let's talk horror. Released on the 11th on video on demand is Demoness or Succubus, and this is when a young couple goes to an erotic island for a couple's retreat in order to rekindle their lost flame, but instead they get an entity who feeds off their pain. Released today on video on demand is Something is About to Happen. This Spanish film revolves around Lucia, who lost her job as a computer programmer and is now taking up a job as a cab driver. What is supposed to be a journey of self-discovery and reinvention turns deadly when she becomes a target with some very violent consequences. Released today on Apple TV is The Gorge. This is starring Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller, who are two elite ops stationed at the opposite sides of a vast gorge, there to protect the world from an unknown evil. As they form a bond from afar, the looming threat forces them to join together and fight for survival. Released today on Shudder is The Dead Thing. This erotic horror revolves around Alex, who's an office worker going on a string of meaningless dates until she meets Kyle and they share a passionate night together, and then he disappears. As she searches for the reason why he potentially has not ghosted her, she uncovers some secrets that blur the line between reality and supernatural. Released today on video on demand is Inhabitants, when a young woman and her boyfriend, an ex-Catholic, are haunted by his old youth minister. They have to figure out why this spirit is so vengeful, and it's going to test their past beliefs and their faith. And finally, releasing today on video on demand is The Rounding. This psychological horror follows Dr. James Heyman, who's a medical resident at a rural hospital, and he becomes obsessed with this asthma patient who's displaying some strange symptoms. So he begins to investigate further, begins to experience some disturbing symptoms, and this blurs the line between reality and what he knows in the medical field. And those were the horror movies releasing for the second week of February. Like always, I'll have the list available on my Letterboxd for you to check out, and I'll also link my playlist for you to check out any Freaky Flick Fridays you may have missed, and I'll be back next week with all new horror movie releases. But until then, stay gruesome, ghouls.